Today's show is brought to you by One Football app. Hi there, welcome to Bustthenet. It's time for another Getting Started with series, and this is going to be slightly different. This is an LLM safe. I'm actually walking you through the start of the Diffuse Challenge. Yes, if you want more information about this little challenge, you need to visit the SI forums. In particular, you want to start reading up on the Diffuse Challenge, which is over here, and it's got all the details there. It's basically an LLM challenge that is focused on the in England. You holiday a manager for one entire season, and then you come in, you retire that guy, and you come in as a manager and you take over another club, and you take over one of the newly promoted clubs into the English leagues. So we have to go down right to the bottom here. So I'm going to the Vanrama South to see who has been promoted. This is quite easy to find out. And there we go. We got Kingstonians. Yes, the Kingstonians have been promoted 350 to 1. Guess what? We're going to go back to the Kingstonians one more time. And yes, if anybody remembers, this was the challenge. This was the thing I used to do in the previous editions of the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to retire this guy. Thank you for all the good times. Then we're going to come in here. I'm going to add myself as a manager. Yes, I've got terrible dress sense, so please excuse me. That I don't have any badges, so we're going to go right out to England, go down to Vanrama South, and pick Kingstonian, and this is my managerial style, so everyone can see that I have no badges, nothing. Sunday League footballer. I mean, you could call yourself an international footballer if you wanted to, but we have no badges. I think the rules are, when adding a new manager, personal details are completely up to you, but I expect people to use their own true nationalities and language spoken, but hell, coaching badges must be set to none with past playing experience set as Sunday League footballer. The coaching attributes are completely up to you. So here we go. That's it. I'm done. Start playing. And I'm in charge of Kingstonian. Yes, this is nice. Alright, so the question now is, what do you do? Alright, the first thing I'm going to do when I'm managing a club like this is find out what I have. Right, so Kingstonians, I know them. Ooh, they actually have a transfer budget. Unbelievable. 5,520. Wage budget of 400. And a scouting budget of £4,000. Well, I got to be very careful how I use this. This can be wiped out in a day. All right, there's no point talking to anybody about this. Let's go to the scouting. As you can see, scouting responsibility, Ziggy Profeto, assignment 0, recruitment team 0. Basically, I got nothing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go and get an ass man who has got good judging play ability, then one scout for potential ability, and we'll add another physio to the mix. Okay, so all that has already been done. And we'll just go, we'll wait. So let's review the situation. We're still in pre-season, and these are the players that are in the club. I'm not joking. I joke you not. These are the players. And if I look at unavailable, and I check this out, match day squad, remove the match day squad. I'm serious. These are the players I have available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 players. I have already asked 2 players to leave because basically I just couldn't see them fitting into the side. So what do I do? Now, these are all the players on trial. They're in the club. They're also on trial. So what I do now is there's enough time. We should be able to see some of their attributes. Now, when it comes to lower league football, I have my core role attributes. I go through my players like a fine-tooth comb, and I will make a decision. But seriously, sometimes in lower league football, you can't really have your cake and eat it too. So you're gonna have to be very specific. So here, when it comes to lower league football, I'm very simple. I'm looking at positioning. I'm looking at mentals above all else. I'm positioning off the ball, acceleration, work rate, determination. I'm looking at these. These are the ones I'm gonna focus on first. If the players have enough of this, then I will. If they have these, like they have positioning off the ball, then I start looking at other things. A decent work rate, okay, not too bad. The number to beat is 11. Sometimes you have to make exceptions. So we're looking at some of the players right now, and there are some players that I've already told, basically told them they can go. Like Billy Crittenden, well, I've already terminated his trial, so he's gone. So here, this Tom Ripsher, he's okay, not good enough. Contract, I'm gonna terminate his trial if he's not good enough. I'm looking at positioning 9. The number to beat is 10, but he's got 9. Decisions are 14, so I'm not too sure yet. So this is what happens in prison. Jan Yeomans, I'm most likely going to sign him because we don't have a left back. He looks pretty decent. Then we have another player here called Jake Smeaton. I might be signing him very soon. He's a bit on the slow side. His positioning is a bit dodgy, 6. He can be a defensive midfielder. He's got some passing, some decisions. Still not entirely convinced. So we're still going to keep on trialing these players. And we got no defensive midfield. I mean, in the center, then I start thinking about my defensive midfielders. So I'm looking at all the players. What I've also done is I go into my tactics. I've got 2 tactics. I've got the 4-4-2 and the 4-1-3-2. I'm just going to play a very simple game. And my goal is, okay, let's fill this up with the players I need for a 4-3-1-2, 4-1-3-2 rather, and I'll look for players that can fit into a 4-4-2. Well, so far, this is how I do scouting. I don't really go out and scout players because in lower league football, what you're going to see is this. A lot of players are going to come. We want to have a trial at a club. And the closer you get to the season start date, the more of these jokers are going to show up. If they keep showing up, just invite them for trials. You keep returning to the player search area and check out and try to see whether you can find any players. So I'm always looking to see whether or not any other players show up in the search data. My database. Sometimes people pop up. 15 to 45, very broad age group. As you can see, determination and positioning. I can't seem to find anybody in the DM slot, but I'm pretty certain I can find players in the MC slot. No, none. So there's nobody there. And then what I have here is also a short list. I've got one player called Aiden Walker. My scouts thing is 65% recommendation level, but Aiden Walker, he's okay. He's a good player, underbid from Kingstonian. Yes, that's us. We are thinking of adding him to the list of players, but still, I might recall him for another trial. So sometimes I keep people on trials. Now this other thing that you got to be very careful when you got all these players on trial. Sometimes you could skip the trial and lose the player. So make sure you go onto the calendar if you see a player there, and if you're not too sure, like here we have a defender, right? Kingstonian's positioning 7, tackling 5, composure and concentration very low. Chances are I'm not going to sign him. And then I've got another guy here, Randall. His trial is going to finish his trial might finish. Positioning 3 to 8, I doubt it. So this is what I do. So as the season goes, I am trialing players, and I terminate the trials of players who are not good enough. Here, Khan Miller Neve. This is a player I'm not too sure about. You see, the thing about LLM football is this. When you start LLM football, to get it off to a good start, you literally need to invest a lot of time in this aspect of the game. If you get this aspect of the game perfect, done well, and I'm talking to perfection, okay, you gotta be very, very spot on about your decisions. Like here, I've got a fullback, Khan Milaneve. When I'm looking at him, I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm not too sure about this boy. The thing about him is his decisions are 15. I immediately start thinking, okay, fine, your decisions are 15, your tackling is 9, your passing is 7, your determination is 8, your off the ball is 6. All right, he's got a lot of numbers in the right places, but they're neither great here nor there, and he's only 20 years old. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring him into the squad. I'm going to accept him. And then we will try and see whether or not he can play in other positions. He might end up being a winger. He might end up being a central midfielder. We don't know. But we just have to, you need to think of options as well. Here we have a player. This guy is actually in our club. He's a Gibraltarian that joined the club before I joined the club. He's a key player in my squad. I'm looking at his attributes going, okay, you're key player. Thank you, but no thanks. Can you go back to the Rock? So I'm sending him back to the Rock, and we don't need him in the club so far. And this is the other thing. When I check the dynamics, it's important to understand here. I'm not afraid of dynamics at this point because my reputation is just as bad as this player. So what I did was, I asked another player to talk to him, and he seems to have come to the conclusion I'm not trying to force him out of the club, which in reality I am trying to force him out of the club. But he just sees I've got a very good one of my very good squad players who's extremely good at convincing him otherwise. So cool. All right. Capture the switcher, inverted wingback, Khan Milovic. Really? He's an inverted wingback? Well, he can be an inverted wingback. I don't think he'll have any impact. I think it'll be a lift to everyone at the club. Let's not see anything negative. So this is how I do things. And it's very focused. So I go through my squad, and it's going to take me a while. Have you noticed one thing? I don't even have goalkeepers. So my goal is very simple with LLM football. LLM football is get your assistant manager in first. That's the most important thing. You don't have an assistant manager, you need one in. Get your core staff group going. I want assistant manager, I want chief scout. Make sure the assistant manager can at least scout as well. Has got some player, he can scout as well. So he's got some judging play ability. You need that because how do you think this is going to come? Team report, everything else. So far, earlier we didn't even have a DM slot. So we know players who could play DM, but now I got several players who can play midfield. I got Ben Musselwhite. Yeah, I know he looks pretty decent. Ash Maddox, Salim Nassour, Alex Prosser, and Jamie H. Really strong here. And then on the left rank, we got Luke Emberson and Jan Yeomans and Jake Smeaton. I'm thinking of signing all three because it gives me options. Jake Smeaton can play as a central midfielder. Then I got three in this position. Up top, this is the question mark we're going to have. I've got Tom Derry, who's an existing player of the club. But who am I going to sign? Who are the two other strikers that I'm going to sign? Between now and the next, potentially, it's not going to take me very long. Between now and maybe 2 weeks, I would have already discovered who are the ideal players in my team. And if I look at the medical center, now remember, medical center head of sports science, but lower league football, I can't afford the head of sports science. I don't see the point of having one. So I'm just going to stick with 2 physios for now and try and manage the cost. Naturally, head of sports science would be good to give me a better heads up, but realistically speaking, I can't afford it. Now, in terms of training, if you're looking at my coaches, beggars can't be choosers. I don't have the best of both worlds. Tactics and ball control, we're not very good. If I swing it this way, maybe I can get 2 stars in nearly everything, which is the best I can hope for at the moment. We're not going to get any more coaches, so we'll have to be happy with what we have for now until the board deems it perfectly okay for me to go and get more coaches, more staff. At the moment, that's it. We're not getting any more. So when I get started with an LLM save, the first thing I do, depending on the save, this is the diffuse challenge, so I probably won't have an assistant manager, so I need to get an assistant manager or else I can't do team reports. Yeah, that's important. I gotta get a chief scout in because I need to have opposition reports later. Then we need to have coaches in, so we sign those fellas in. We've done 3 things now. These are the 3 most important things. Then I go to the scouting center. Scouting center will populate with players that they're going to be recommendations that come in. So most of them are going to be offering trial. You can offer them trial. So invite the whole world to trial. Finally, this database here, the player search database, it's going to be a function of your staff's knowledge, because at this point you got no package, right? If you look at covers only players known to the club staff, covers only players known to the club staff. So don't worry, you're not cheating. This is your knowledge of your staff. It's like you're sitting down in a meeting going, okay, guys, why don't you crack your heads wide open, give me a list of names that you think can play for us, because if I show you what we have in our club, really, if I took all the players that are available to us, these are the only players in my club. I joke you not. There we go. These are the players that are in my club. We need a goalkeeper. We need players in every single bloody position, and we don't have them right now. So that's what we do. We depend on our scouts. So there's still going to be more on this getting started with our Kingstonians. We've got a long way to go. We've only just gotten our feet wet, and we have already decided how we're going to play. Yes, I've decided how I'm going to play. I've got a 4-4-2 lined up. I've got a 4-1-3-2 that I'm going to use, and maybe a 3-4-3. Yes, this is going to be I don't know yet. I'm toying with the idea. I haven't really settled on the roles and duties just yet, but something tells me I'm about to take this AI on with 3 bloody strikers. If I can, I'm going to throw everything at it. Because this is the Huge Challenge. This is getting started with lower league football. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know there's still a lot more to be covered. We haven't gone very far yet, but this is how it starts with LLM safe, and that's precisely the focus of this show. So if you have any questions, or if you want me to continue the Kingstonian say, please let me know. I'd like to hear back from you on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, I'd like to thank all my patrons for the continued support of this channel. You make this kind of shows possible for the rest of the community. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon.